So I've just come back into Pole Town. Let's see how long it takes. If I walk at this pace, we'll see how long it takes for me to get down to the other end. There might actually be something here and I didn't see it. There's a made in Japan shoe store which appears to have some men's shoes in it, but I don't need shoes, so that's no help to me at all. There's a ladies' wig store. Ladies' wigs are really not going to help me much either. Although I might be able to fashion them into a pair of gloves. Never know. Minette. So there's a ladies' sleepwear place, a ladies' clothes store, a ladies' jewelry store, a ladies' massage store, another ladies' place. There. Ooh, this one has men's socks. This might be what I need. One moment. Right, let's set off again. That didn't work. I now know that I need to ask Otoko no tebukuro desu ka? Man's gloves question. They had men's socks, but they didn't have man's gloves. So there's a ladies' cosmetics store. There's a bakery with some men in it, but that doesn't count. There's a ladies' hamper place. There's a ladies' underwear shop. A shop for ladies' bags, shoes and accessories. A ladies' jewelry store. A natural innerwear, that's for ladies as well. 3 coins appears to be for ladies as well. 3 coins is apparently all you need in there. 100 yen shoppu maybe. Heart Dance also appears to be a jewelry store, but Vibrand Sparkle appears also to be ladies. There's a digital print shop that only has ladies in it. 3-4 Time. That's also a ladies' shop. CBM, also a ladies' shop. Couture Ruche, that is also a ladies' store. There's Plastic again, that's also a ladies' store. L'Occitane en Provence is also a ladies' store, primarily, although there is a man in there. There's a kimono shop, which is a ladies' store. Anzu, which has only ladies' things in it. Ladies' shoes, ladies' socks, ladies' bags. Papillonneur, that's ladies as well. Ladies. 5 minutes to walk through, not a single men's place anywhere. Mitsukoshi, I think, is where I came from, so I might try there again. Otherwise, I'll have to go into the station, which I don't want to do. One day, maybe. So I ended up in Mitsukoshi, the other department store. They sent me to the menswear section, but it's just Emporio Armani, and I don't want Emporio Armani because it's too expensive. And I just want a pair of fucking gloves. How hard can this be? Well, there's the streetcar, so I found something at least. This looks more like a shopping street, doesn't it, right? Got to be something here somewhere. I think I'm in the right spot. It says menswear is on the 3rd, 4th and 5th floors. Ooh. Even in the department store, the everyday new bag. I'm everyday new begging for some tebukuro, but I can't find any anywhere. So here's the best news I've had all day. They don't stock any gloves at this time of year because it's spring and almost summer, despite the fact that it is only 2 degrees outside. It's too warm for them to have any gloves. Even some light woolen gloves, they don't have any. So I'm just gonna have to shove my hands in my pockets and grow a pair and get on with it, I think. So it was Daiso to the rescue. Not only a pair of gloves, but touchscreen gloves. 2 fingers on each glove that allow for touchscreen activity. Win. I generally think I'm fairly good with directions. Sapporo is very efficiently laid out in a grid. Unfortunately, everywhere that I've been into so far has been so large and has required me to walk such distances and around so many corners that every time I come back out, I'm facing a different direction. I have no way of finding any point of reference, which makes it very difficult to get back to where you came from if you can't actually see where you came from anymore. Yes, there it is. This is the observation deck at the Sapporo TV tower. Of all the different views you can get while you're up here, this is basically the money shot. This is looking right down Odori Koen towards the mountains. View from here of the park, Odori Koen, all the way down to the other end. It's so long, 13 blocks it goes for, so that's the whole park from here. Well, that was the Sapporo TV tower then. It gives you an interesting view, firstly of Odori Koen, which is much bigger than even I thought it was. So it gives an interesting view from up there of Sapporo. Probably a lot of work and money was put into the town in preparation for 1972. A lot of the architecture is very early 70s. A lot of the parks are very square and cement-like, not modern in any way. The tower itself sort of looks old, you know, it looks like it's seen better days, but at the same time it works. It looks the way it should look. It just works, that building over there behind me would have looked super, super cool, especially the portico, the entrance, whatever you call it. Just everything about the town is just so neat and square, nicely laid out. See, all the streets are so long. They just go and go and go and go. It'd be cool to get all the way up the other end and then keep going all the way back down the other end. Then I can say I've walked from one end of Sapporo to the other. Whether or not that's true doesn't matter. It sounds impressive. It's proving awfully difficult to use these, which is supposed to be touchscreen friendly, to start and stop the camera. No. Stop, you bitch. To my utter dismay, after all that searching, it's actually getting colder. It's now 1.1 degrees. My hands are no longer warm in my Daiso 108 yen touchscreen gloves. Totes Devo right now. Totes Devo. While this cold is becoming increasingly unpleasant, I refuse to give in to it. So much of this area reminds me of Tallinn, reminds me of Estonia, in the sense that there's these great, wide, flat cement areas that are half wet, half dry, mounds of ice and snow sort of piled up on the side, covered in dirt, trees with nothing in them, on a slightly grander scale than Tallinn, but so much of it, just the colours and the textures and everything just the same. It would be really interesting. There's a giant pile of snow or ice or something up there. I have to get there. It would be really interesting to see, to contrast what it's like here in midwinter. It feels like fucking midwinter right now. What it's like here in midwinter versus what it's like in midsummer. It's lovely, apparently. Here's a great big mound of ice. The sun's almost coming through. Wow. Whoa, it's just so cold. Prime example of weird ass, probably 70s design. You've got all these bricks and then in the middle a raised platform of pavers, as if to make this vast bleak square of pavers in a circular design. Somewhat less bleak and more interesting. Multicolored, so I suppose that makes it a little bit interesting. I wonder who thought that was a good idea. Masses and masses of snow. I'm guessing this is from a cleanup. Use one of those Homer Simpson ice plow things. I'm guessing this park looks really nice in summer, but it sure as hell isn't looking so nice right now. Here's the epitome of 70s design right here. I think they're street lights. They look like they've been there since 1972. And then you look over there and you've got this terribly Russian looking thing. Oh, and there's a circular hotel. It is interesting noticing the Russian influence starting to come in even here. Guidebooks and signs that I've seen with some Russian on them. The people look slightly different here. There is actually a different accent. I'm hearing repeated words here that I've not heard on Honshu or Kyushu. So maybe there is kind of a dialect. There's certainly words and the accent is clearly different. More piled up snow, a strange 70s looking thing in the middle, and this rusty looking Russian thing. It's got a Russian thing, priest or something at the top. It's a weird looking thing. And then this thing behind, which presumably spouts water or fire or something. It's clearly all been here since the Olympics. Some of it is looking just a tiny bit tired. I'm gonna walk on the ice now. Let's see how far I can get without slipping ass over tits. It's hard, so I don't think it's not gonna break. It's not like I'm gonna fall in a hole or anything. It's crunching a tiny bit underfoot, but not really. That's me walking over some snow. That, I'm guessing it's like a fountain or something. It's just weird. I think I've worked this out. This ice is not snow. I think it's actually left over from the ice festival and it's waiting to melt. I couldn't work out why there would be so much residual snow down here, but not up there, right? That doesn't make sense. And now I've gotten all the way down here. There is absolute shitloads of it down this end of the park. It can't have snowed this much down here. That, huge piles of it on both sides of this footpath. And I believe it's down this end where the ice festival starts. But there's truckloads of it and it's all very nicely arranged along the sides. All of this here is so much of it. It's a tiny bit softer than I thought it would be. Oh, there's such a cute little dog over there. Maybe it's been there for 2 months and it's just waiting to melt. It does strike you as slightly odd that there's all of this ice here and then ever diminishing volumes of it back there. If you've never been to Japan before, hello. If you've never been to Japan before and you come into a railway station and you don't have a card that works in the area that you are, you'll find one of these boards above the tickets. If you have never seen one of these before and you don't know how to read them, they are very, very, very confusing. But in fact, once you learn how to read them, so once you work out where you are and where you're going, it just tells you exactly how much you need to put into the machine, and then you get one of these little old school tickets, a little tiny old school paper ticket, and you go and shove it in the little gate over there and you're done. These stairs are right-hand traffic. I'm coming across some crackers up here. I haven't seen such funny English anywhere else in Japan. I suppose it's a sign of the weather and how truly cold it is outside when you come down into the subway station and it's actually still reasonably cool. Now I was going to go into that shrine over there. Here's a phenomenon I've not seen before. On both sides of the road, they all have their hazard lights flashing. But I don't know whether that's something to do with the shrine and whether they're all in there and I'm not meant to go in. I don't know whether I'm meant to go in at all. Am I allowed to go in? And do I have to be a registered believer to go in? I don't know. So this gets weirder and weirder. There's all these cars with their hazard lights flashing, right? They're all stopped along the side. They're all stopped all the way up there. But the weirder thing still is that there's all these people just standing around pressing their phone screens, and they're even over the other side of the road, and I don't know what they're doing and I don't want to ask them. It just looks really, really weird. Maybe it's one of those stupid Pokemon things. They're all here and I don't know what they're doing. Something's telling me the no bicycle parking sign is not especially effective. This place is so much like Estonia, Greg, that it's just bizarre. It's got to be something to do with the fact that Russia is so close by and the guy who came here to start with was presumably Russian. Every time I look at it, it reminds me of something in Tallinn. It was literally so cold outside that I brought myself back. My feet stopped working, my gloves stopped working, my nose started to hurt, everything was hurting, I couldn't keep going. So I came back and I thought, what's the best thing I can do? I can do a vending machine and kombini review.